That's probably the most fulfilling parts about being in landscape architecture, getting to look at something from the very beginning when the story gets developed on a piece of paper from a concept, and then seeing that all the way through, even after it's already finished, and you have people that are using your space that you designed in ways that you wanted them to, is a really fulfilling thing to see.
My name is Jessie Jacobs, and I'm a senior associate at TBG Partners.
Design is so subjective, and so I feel like when I go about a design, I always want design decisions to be rooted in something that everybody can understand. Houston has exceeded all of my expectations, and the culture is vibrant, and the types of people that Houston brings as such a large city is really beautifully woven tapestry of different ethnicities and cultures, and it's helped create a really great place to live. The Groves is a master plan community right outside of Beltway 8. We wanted to make a place that would be a beautiful backdrop for the story of people's lives. So being able to experience a really nice open space right at your front doorstep ends up becoming something that's so much more valuable than we even knew when we first started. I love developing a story because it allows the design team to go back to something that holds everything together. And they're not making introspective decisions just based off of a whim, but it's based off of some sort of grounding thread. People need community. Like those lines and those weaves, wherever your sidewalk is going through, it's going to impact whoever's walking through it one day. And there's reasons behind every mark that you're making on a piece of paper eventually that gets put into the ground.
The place you live can shape your behavior. So it's very important for a place to be right and for a place to be healthy. My name is Isha Liu. I do urban planning and landscape architecture at TBG Partners. To build a place that's adaptable over time to different people, really thinking about the functionality of the place, the longevity of the place. So the sustainability really goes from your environmental, your social, and the economic aspect. Dallas is such a diverse city, and we're constantly having outside people relocate to Dallas. So your population, regionality change, the needs, the preference change. So the way you use a space changes too. TBG have been working on Granite Park for about 15 years. So we started on the site planning of the project and really have seen the involvement and evolution of the place changing for the past close to 2 decades. When I design, I put myself into the place. The design is really putting a personal stand of visualizing the space you're creating. You wanted to really understand the psychology behind how people are using the space. So always keep that systematic, holistic view when you're doing the design. Think beyond your design boundary. For TBG, I do want to say process is really important. When you think about the future, think about adaptability. I don't want it to do more, but I want to do it right.
That's the fulfilling part of landscape architecture, is that we work with living materials and we work with natural systems to create a story. And those living materials change, grow, they do things that's unexpected. I think that constant surprise, that constant level of learning is always there. My name is Adam Shriver. I'm a landscape architect with TBG Partners. I think the stories that we try to tell on our projects, what we do is we try to connect with the community and in turn we're hoping that that connection creates a better understanding of the place that we're working in, but also helps me have a better understanding of my place in Austin. Austin's identity has to be somewhat intertwined and wrapped in this idea of greenness and having green spaces and park spaces wind in and out of the city. Austin wants to be outside. The Children's Garden is organized by 4 distinct outdoor rooms that are connected by a major circulation route that connects you to the feature of the site, which is the Liz Carpenter Fountain, where all the kids like to go. On that main path, we've organized places for both adults to feel comfortable and staying longer periods of time, because we've worked with psychologists in the field, and to help make sure that we're optimizing the play-built experiences there for all ages. It was instilled to me early on that landscape architects essentially create the stage for life to happen. Well, we found that stories are a great way to connect the community to the project. And once they've done that, then there's this opportunity that we have that we could maybe get a better understanding of our relationships to our community and how we relate to nature. And that, at the end of the day, is what I find is the important work that we do.
Seeing people collaborate in the studio personally brings me so much joy, because as a designer, that's what I wake up for. Those moments where there are design breakthroughs, that's where you feel like you're doing your job well. My name is Elaine Kearney. I'm a managing principal at TBG Partners. For us in San Antonio, it comes really naturally. It's one of the things that is fun about being in a slightly smaller studio, is that there's just a lot of opportunity for organic collaboration to happen. I think that's the joy in what we do. It makes it very approachable, that even if you're not part of the day-to-day project, and you might end up getting a very different perspective. TBG was so thrilled to be invited to help conceive of the campus from the very beginning. This project is a new campus and headquarters for an organization called the Texas Organ Sharing Alliance.
The Texas Organ Sharing Alliance is the federally designated non-for-profit organ procurement organization. We are the go-between the donor hospital with the families and the actual transplant centers. My name is Joseph Nesbral. I am the president and CEO of the Texas Organ Sharing Alliance. The journey is extremely sensitive, right? Because we're dealing with families who have just been told the worst news of their life, and they have to now make some very important decisions. It is a rare event, and when we do have that precious opportunity to sit down with the family, we walk through the process with them and make them understand the value and the preciousness of the opportunity for them to be part of. Working with TBG was a wonderful experience. It was a great opportunity to sit down with someone who had such experience and knowledge. We always had one vision, and the vision was we needed to come up with something that was dedicated and memorialize our organ donors. So not only did we learn from them, but they learned from us. And then sitting together, working together, it was just a great experience.
I think many times in our work, we talk sort of more abstractly about creating a memorable place. This one is so unique in that there was so much intentionality of being able to imagine the emotional burden or joy or contemplation that someone would be bringing to this space. We were creating a space for contemplation. Getting to work on a project like this, to me, is so incredibly moving and meaningful. It honestly makes me proud to be a landscape architect. I think that it represents some of the best and important work that landscape architects can do. Connecting people and mission and landscape architecture together is just incredibly fulfilling.